Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Suplexes, Scores, and Save Points. Hashtag Triple S Pod. I am Ryan. With me, as always, is the wonderful, the Mr. Wonderful, Nathan.
Oh, you didn't know?
I look forward to this every podcast. I just like to know what you're going to throw out every time. Welcome to another Suplexes. We're suplexing again here. We got a crazy week of wrestling. A lot to get to. We had the return of a couple episode shows, and we have the G1 going on. So we have a lot to get through. But first, we got some speculation, some rumors, some news to get through. It was towards the end of the week. News broke that Melina, former 5-time women's champion, was returning to WWE. Those rumors kind of got put to rest as Melina herself kind of denied that she did not sign a contract. Could it be deflection? We don't know. I mean, it could be where she actually has signed and she's just trying to throw people off. Who knows?
5-time women's champion.
Wasn't she 5-time?
Fuck, I don't know. I don't remember any of her reigns.
I'm pretty sure I know she won the Divas title like a couple times.
I don't know.
Let me look it up.
In other news, Bobby Roode might be coming back because, the roster is getting depleted with injuries and everything else. Bobby Roode might be coming back, and also, what were those guys' names?
You forgot about the Forgotten Sons.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I forgot, because they were called the Forgotten. They might be coming back, but they might get repackaged because SmackDown needs some teams.
And Jackson Riker will probably not be with them.
Yeah, that's why I said they're probably going to get repackaged.
It'll just be Cutler and Blake. So.
And they might be good guys instead because really you need something. I don't know. You only got 4 teams on SmackDown right now. Well, you got even less on Raw.
Yeah, I was saying they got more than Raw. So just to backtrack, Melina was a 2-time Divas champion and a 3-time Women's champion. 5 times. Don't question me. I know my stuff. Yeah. The only reign I remember is when she came back and beat Jillian for the Divas title.
Oh, what a weird times that was.
I'm the best.
There's also
spread.
So there's also Serena Deeb signed with AEW, which is a big signing.
Oh, huge signing. I mean, let's be honest. World-renowned, world-famous Serena Deeb. I'm hoping that they use her just as like a trainer, like as a coach, like to kind of help them, not much of an active wrestler. Because let's be honest, you say
that, but Billy Gunn is that, and he wrestles all fucking time. So.
Oh yeah, he wrestles on that dumb show called Dark that no one cares about. Big matchups on that show they claim every week, and it's just a bunch of squash matches, or not squash matches, but matches that involve.
Oh, it's squash matches.
Okay. Well, squash matches that go 20 minutes.
Yeah, but you know who's gonna win, so that's the squash match.
Okay.
I guess we'll go ahead into it. Hey, let's start with not Raw this time. Ooh,
we're switching it up.
Let's start with Ring of Honor because technically it comes on at 6 o'clock. So
it does come on at 6 o'clock. So this was the return of ROH. They had been gone for many months, and they're coming back with their Pure Championship tournament. Yes. For those of you that don't know what the Pure title is. It is a title that they had when they were originally a company. It was, 12 years ago? Probably was the last time they had this belt.
Yeah, something like that. It's been a while.
So the rules of the Pure tournament are you get 3 rope breaks during the match. If you've used all 3 rope breaks, if you're in the ropes for a pin or submission, it doesn't matter. You can still lose.
Yeah.
So the Pure title is supposed to be about like just pure wrestling is what it's supposed to be. I
Yeah,
don't think
no closed fist.
no closed fist to the face, but you can use closed fist any other part of the body.
Right.
The first
You
one's a
get one
warning.
warning.
Yep, one warning. The second one is a disqualification. There is judges because if it goes a time limit, there is judges for this, which is
Yeah.
so each match in this tournament will have a time limit. I think it's 15 minutes for the opening round, 20 minutes for the second round, and then 30 or 40 for the main event for the finals, something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
So this first, yeah, go ahead.
Also, oh, that's okay. Also, if there is any outside interference, the wrestler who causes the interference is not just banned from the tournament, but they are banned from ROH.
Yeah.
They
So
get fired.
no fuckery in this tournament. They want it to be, and you have to do the handshake, the code of honor at the beginning of the match, no matter what. This started off with like a history of the pure title. It was some chick that I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
She was recapping basically the history of the tournament, of the championship, who has held the title, and then we went into promos for the opening match, which was pretty old school style, where they interviewed both people before the match. It was Jay Lethal going up against Dalton Castle. These two
Right.
actually have a lot of history with each other. Castle actually
Both former world champions.
both former world champions. Jay Lethal is a former pure champion. So this match
The
was
only pure champion in this tournament.
yeah. Everyone else is. I mean, he's the only one old enough. So this match started off. Lethal used one of his rope breaks very very early on, about a minute into the match. This was. I mean, it's Dalton Castle and Jay Lethal. It's a pretty good match, as they always do.
Really technical.
Really technical, which is what basically I think they want from every match in this tournament. In the end, though,
Yeah. Dalton Castle didn't do any of his Dalton Castle didn't do any of his taunts or anything. He was all serious.
yeah, he's all serious. In the end, though, Jay Lethal hit the lethal injection, gets the win. Jay Lethal moves on to the second round of the tournament.
Yeah, and what was cool about this is they have the time limit up. They have almost like the timeouts for football and basketball on the screen for the rope break, so you know
Really
how many
cool.
rope breaks
They tell you who the judges are, in case it goes time limit, which is cool. It's pretty cool. We've got this, and we've got a lot of strange matches and tournaments happening in the world of wrestling. With
we got 3 different tournaments
with
going
NXT
on right
UK going on, and we've got news out of NXT about some weird matches coming up too. So the second match we got, we had another 2 video packages. We had Wheeler Utah, I think, is making his ROH debut.
now.
Going up against Jonathan Gresham, who is supposedly, well, not supposedly, one of, if not the best technical wrestler in ROH or all of wrestling, to be honest.
He's my pick to win it all.
He calls himself the Octopus, and Wheeler Utah was pretty impressive in this match, though.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. For somebody I've never heard of.
Yeah, I'd never heard of him. But in the end, obviously, the Octopus gets the win. So the ROH Tag Team Champions both win.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Yeah, they both move on. So I'm interested to see what round 2 is. You want to run down who else is in this real quick?
Yeah, let me get to that real quick.
I know Silas Young is in it. The last.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Block A is Jay Lethal versus Dalton Castle, David Finlay versus Rocky Romero, Fred Yeehee versus Silas Young, and Tracy Williams versus Russ Taylor. Block B is Jonathan Gresham versus Wheeler Utah, Delirious versus Matt Seidel, making his return to ROH, Josh Woods versus Kenny King, and PJ Black versus Tony Deppen. There is actually. Go ahead.
I am looking forward to the Delirious match because Delirious has not wrestled in forever, so this should be very interesting.
Delirious, and then he's going up against Matt Seidel, so that's going to be interesting. There is 2 alternates in case someone is injured. Dak Draper is the Block A alternate, and Brian Johnson is the Block B alternate.
Right. Yeah, Delirious is the new Booker of ROH because of all the stuff that happened with what's his name, the British guy.
Yeah, they got Marty.
Marty Scurll. Yeah. But that was ROH. Pretty cool. Pretty a little different. Pretty good matches.
I enjoyed it. I really did.
Not real long. Easy to watch.
It was very quick. If you skipped like the promos, just watch straight matches. It was like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes.
Yeah. Pretty cool. All right, let's get into some long-ass Monday Night Raw.
We're going to do a quick recap of this show. This was called the Raw in Your Face. Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, and Dolph Ziggler are the commentary team to start this show off.
That's weird.
Not sure why Ziggler was there. But it starts off with Drew McIntyre, as always. And again, I don't understand why they feel the need for these stupid, like, Photoshop pictures that they put up all the time. I don't know why they try to be funny, but McIntyre shows a thing of all the people he's claymored. Whatever. He said that he wants to defend the title in an ambulance match at Night of Champions. Or Clash of Champions. Sorry. Adam Pearce, who is apparently the booker of Raw and SmackDown, comes out and says that Keith Lee fights McIntyre tonight. If Lee wins, he is inserted if Orton cannot compete.
Right.
Yeah. Then Lee gets in, and the first match was the champion versus champion. Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits versus Cesaro and Nakamura. This match was pretty good for a TV tag team match. Cesaro and Nakamura don't have bad matches, and neither do Street Profits, honestly. 4 great athletes. In the end, though, the Street Profits get the win, which was, I guess, what was going to happen to me is on Raw, and they've been champions longer, but it kind of still threw me off a little bit. But Street Profits beat the SmackDown champions. They talk about the Hurt Business. They do their all their stuff. That leads to Cedric versus Ricochet. It was okay. It wasn't much.
It wasn't bad, but it was short.
Yeah. Cedric gets the win with the lumbar check, which Ricochet sold phenomenally. It was great.
Yeah.
But then the lights go out, Retribution shows up, and they talk.
Yeah, they talk.
They said they're prepared to show who they are.
But then they don't.
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler through this whole show said the word brother more than Hulk Hogan.
I'll tell you what, man. Yeah, he was all over the fence. Then comes the Women's Championship match, Asuka, Mickie James. This match was really good, but the ending was weird. Asuka had her in the Asuka lock, and the referee just called for the bell. And
she couldn't continue.
She said she couldn't continue. The referees, Asuka and Mickie James, looked like they didn't know what happened. The announcers didn't know what happened. Apparently, reports came out afterwards that Mickie sold so well that people in the back thought she was actually out, so they called for the bell. So they told the referee to ring the bell. I mean, good on Mickie. I mean, it made her look strong. She didn't actually tap.
Yeah.
After this, Zelina Vega just walks out and slaps Asuka across the face and says she wants the title. So I guess we're going to get Asuka and Vega at Clash of Champions, which is...
That's random.
Yeah, very random. I mean, that was... I didn't expect that. Of all the people to get a title shot, against Asuka, Zelina, but okay.
Yeah. Got some Raw Underground. Yeah. Shitty Raw Underground.
Yeah.
Braun Strowman wanted a piece of people. He was mad, I guess.
Oh, I'm
And
angry. Oh, I always want to hurt people.
yeah, yeah. And he destroyed people, and the other big dude got in his face, acted
Avocado.
like they were gonna go at it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're supposed to fight
avocado,
this
whatever his
week.
name is.
Yeah, they're supposed to fight this week. You're missing the steel cage match though, which was pretty good.
I was gonna get there. I was just,
Raw Underground was not worth talking about, honestly.
Oh, we get those guys next week though.
Yeah, we get Davocado and Braun Strowman, so we'll see what happens
Because
there.
out of nowhere, Shane May was like, "Oh, it's not happening now."
We'll have a 5-second fight between those two.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him Avocado. I'm sorry.
Avocado. Best match of the night was the steel cage match, Seth Rollins versus Dominic. This was pretty good, really good. I mean, it's a steel cage match, so it's going to be the same kind of stuff. Murphy almost cost Rollins the match. He slammed the cage door on his face, but Rollins ended up recovering, and Seth Rollins gets the win by stomping Dominic twice, and then he leaves the ring, leaves Murphy. He beats the hell out of Murphy with the cage door.
Yeah. So how does that feel?
And then the Mysterio family get in the ring, but there's some drama as Aaliyah checks on Murphy before getting into the ring to check on her brother. Ooh.
Yeah. You know, if she becomes a regular on the show, she's got to change her name because there's already an Aaliyah. You know how Vince McMahon.
Yeah. Kevin Owens and Aleister Black fight. Pretty good match, but the lights flicker and then Owens hits the stunner, which made a lot of people think maybe he's a part of Retribution. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be. But Owens defeated Black, which really pissed me off because Black just turned heel, and now you're going to have him lose already. It just seems kind of pointless.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that. They kind of paid this off really quick. I don't really know why.
Yeah, so now what do they do? But, okay.
Yeah.
In a very, very, very quick match, the Riot Squad beat Natalya and Lana. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler came out and attacked Lana and Natalya. So, as they send a message to the Riot Squad that we can beat up the people you just beat up.
And the main event was Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee. I was kind of worried that I didn't know what would happen.
Yeah.
But it turns out that nothing really bad happened because Retribution came out.
Yep.
Surrounded the ring.
Yep.
But then the Hurt Business came out.
Yep.
And all of a sudden that was a weird turn of events. And they come down, they're brawling. And then apparently the match just gets thrown out. And then you have this big spot with Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre both doing sentons over the top rope onto everybody.
And then that was the end of the show.
Yep.
Show ended with that. So Keith Lee has another match disrupted with a no contest. So that's like 3 now.
Yeah.
It's getting kind of annoying at this point.
They don't want him to lose, but they don't want him to win.
I don't know. It was an okay show. They progressed storylines well, but not a lot of great matches on the show. There were some. The steel cage match was good. Keith Lee and McIntyre for what it was good when it was actually a match. Mickie James and Asuka was good besides the weird finish, but so it was better than what it was, but it still wasn't great. But.
No, I didn't like it. Let's see. On AEW Dark, the only thing that you really needed to watch or even worth watching or anything is because they have a storyline going on with Peter Avalon and
the Losers Club. Yeah.
What's the other guy's name?
Was it his name like Cutler or something?
Brandon Cutler. They have been trying to get their first win as a tag team because they couldn't get wins as singles wrestlers. But then they got in a fight, and so now they're fighting each other on this show. So you think, all right, one of them's finally going to get a win. Because they're fighting each other. One of them's got to lose. The Young Bucks are out there rooting on Cutler because apparently that's their best friend. and it went to a draw. So
Of
still,
course.
neither one has won a match.
Of course.
That was the only thing that happened on Dark that was worth noting.
Cole, I tell you what, I
Um,
saw the card for next week's Dark, and it is, quote, stacked. Um, I've heard of none of the other opponents, but okay. Let's move on to Impact.
yeah, Impact. It opened up with Eric Young, and then I think unless correct me if this is wrong, this may have been last week, but I'm pretty sure it's this week. Uh, Eddie, what's his last name?
Edwards.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. His wife came down and was confronting Eric Young, said he wasn't a real man, said all this stuff. And then he was gonna act like he was gonna hit her, and then Rich Swann came down with a leg cast on and tried to fight him off. And it turns out that Rich Swann, even though he's got a leg cast, is going to fight Eric Young at Bound for Glory for the championship. So
That makes sense.
that's your main event for Bound for Glory. Yeah, Brian Myers beat Willie Mack again. He cheated again. Willie Mack needs to learn to start cheating or something because Brian Myers keeps getting the best of him. Heath Slater, they had a segment with him and Rhino. Rhino said he was going to arm wrestle Hernandez, and while he was in the middle of arm wrestling, Heath Slater stole money out of his pocket so he could pay for his ass to try to get a job with Impact and feed his kids. You know, he's got kids. And then Moose was talking to all the management about how EC3's been stalking him and brainwashing his coach and all this stuff, and they said that it's all in his head. It's not real. It's in your head, man. And then EC3 shows up on the screen in his little area saying that he's going to cut up the TNA championship if Moose doesn't come find him. So apparently it's not in his head. Just saying. So that.
One funny thing was
Yeah.
Moose was on the phone with, quote, the demo god. And
Yeah.
he asked him what he
Yeah.
should do if a belt gets stolen, which is a clear shot at Chris Jericho losing the AEW championship. Found that funny. I just found that funny.
That was good. I like that. And then we had Taya Valkyrie got beat by Kiera Hogan, which
I
is a
don't like
major
her.
upset.
I'm not a big fan
Yeah,
of
they're
Kiera.
kind of annoying.
I'm not a big fan of Kiera.
She's gotten a lot better than what she was in the ring, but
I probably need to watch
still
Impact
annoying.
to see, but
They were also in a backstage segment. They've been trying to be Johnny Bravo's best man for the wedding between him and Rosemary for some reason. And he says that they're not going to be the best man, and then whoever walks into the next out of the doorway became his best man, and it was Falaba. So Falaba is his best man in this wedding. Rosemary had a segment also where she was talking to those two dark chicks, evil chicks.
Havoc and him. Havoc and him.
Jessica Havoc and the other chick. Yeah, Nevaeh. She was talking to them, trying to. They want to she wants to reincarnate Father. What's that? James Mitchell. Because Jessica Havoc killed him in that one match they had. So she wants to reincarnate him so he can, do the wedding. But Jessica Havoc didn't want to do it, and they got in a fight. This is a great show.
You can't see. I am literally hand in my face right now. This sounds like you're talking about a fucking movie.
And then Sue Young and Kylie Ray had a tag team match with the women's champion and her little lackey. And they got the win
So
Su
is she
Young
Sue Young or
acted
is she
like she was
Susie?
she's Susie. But she acted like she was gonna turn into Sue Young, and then Kylie Ray calmed her down, and so was that.
What the
Um,
fuck?
I think they're playing up that they're gonna have a fatal four-way for the X Division title at Bound for Glory. There was a tag team champions were in a match. I can't remember who they beat, but they are playing up. I think there's going to be like a big gauntlet match probably because they showed all the tag teams around the ring. So it might be like a big gauntlet match for the tag team titles at Bound for Glory. Trying to think what else happened on this show, right? I don't even remember what the main event was.
It was I mean, it was a 8-man tag, which is
That's why.
understandable why you would forget it. The North, Ace
it was,
Austin and Fulton versus the Good Brothers and the Machine Guns.
Yeah, so that's why I think they're gonna have a gauntlet match
Yeah.
for the tag
I mean,
team titles.
it makes sense that you forgot about it. I mean, it's an 8-man tag that's overplayed at this point.
Yeah. But that was Tuesday.
What a fucking show that sounded like. Woof.
Also, I guess we can go. Also on Tuesday, we can go ahead and talk about Prime Time Live.
Prime time, baby. Yeah. So this is
We don't have
weird.
to talk about the whole show. It's a collaboration between MLW, NWA, Hollywood, Wrestling from Hollywood, and Booker T's. What's this show? Reality of Wrestling.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of people from those different shows wrestling. Only things that really note was Hammerstone wrestled from NLW. Apparently, he's a champion.
He defended
some company.
The West Coast Pro Championship.
Which I'm guessing is from Hollywood Wrestling.
He defeated EJ Sparks. There was also a UWN Television Championship match as Dan Joseph defeated Levi Shapiro.
The United Wrestling Network.
Camille defeated Heather Monroe. Jordan Clearwater defeated Will Allday. The Tribe and the Wolf Zaddies ended in a no contest, and Chris Dickinson defeated Jordan Cruz. And the main event was Nick Aldis versus Mike Bennett for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship.
Which is the reason I watched this show.
That's the only reason anyone watched this show, let's be honest.
Yeah. And it was a good match. It started out kind of weird because they brawled on the outside before the bell. Maria was being called Mrs. Bennett as a shot at WWE for having Mike Bennett take her name.
I mean, let's be honest, he's only famous because he married her, but let's move on.
Yeah. But he did good in this match. It was a good match. The story was pretty good. He's fighting for his career, you know. And in the end, Nick Aldis ended up getting the win with Texas Cloverleaf. He did not tap out. He passed out. So he looked strong. I don't know if he's going to be a part of NWA or what's going to happen with him after this, but
is
it was a good match.
Are they even going to have a show at this point, or is this just their new show at this point?
I don't know what's going on with it.
But yeah. So that's going to be a weekly thing. So we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, but it's limited. It's limited. I don't think it's going to be forever. I think they said like for 2 months or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. We'll see. All right.
So, all right. Wednesday time.
It's time for the quote war. So NXT was brought to you on Wednesday. Started off with Shotzi Blackheart versus women's champion Io Shirai.
Good match.
Pretty good yes. Shotzi did better in this match than she usually does. I like Shotzi, but she's pretty slow at times, some matches. But Io, I think, kept the pace up. And
she did some stuff I've never seen her do before. It was pretty cool. She pulled off some weird stuff.
Yeah. Really good back and forth. I thought she may have won it a couple times. But in the end, Io hits a moonsault, but man, she hit like right into the ribs of Shotzi. Like her legs just landed on Shotzi. Io got the win. And then they shook hands. So Io and Shotzi did not, I thought maybe after the week before, they're teasing that Shotzi was like, ooh, she's gonna turn, but no, they're still good. That was
Yeah, they can't have all these heels, man. They gotta have some faces.
It was announced that next week a NXT Women's Championship #1 contender battle royal will take place. Participants shown were Rhea Ripley, Tegan Knox, Shotzi Blackheart, Raquel Gonzalez, Caden Carter, Xia Li, Casey Catanzaro, Indy Hartwell, Aaliyah, Dakota Kai, and Candice LeRae. Over the top rope battle royal winner is the #1 contender. The next match, Tommaso Ciampa beat Desmond Troy. Destroyed him, pretty much. Another squash match for Ciampa. But then Jake Atlas comes back and claims that he is fighting Ciampa next week and he wants his revenge.
Right.
So I didn't expect to see Atlas back that quickly, but
Yeah, well, Ciampa beats him up later too, though.
yes. Funny, Drake Maverick arrived at the arena and they told him that Killian Days wasn't on a team with him. Maverick says it's okay, we're a team. I haven't heard from him, but it's still okay. We're still going to be a team. Finn Balor comes out and cuts a pretty good promo about how he's different this time apart from when he was originally NXT champion.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Austin Theory and Kushida had a pretty good match. Kushida is no longer the fun-loving Kushida. He is just all business. Kicks and clotheslines and chops and submissions all over the place. Kushida got hit. I like it.
Dropped him on his head a couple times.
Yeah. Pretty good match. Kushida, Theory didn't get much offense in. This was a lot of Kushida. Kushida won with the hoverboard lock, and then he didn't want to let go. So he's very aggressive now, and I like it. They had a pretty funny promo with Candice and Gargano. Gargano was mad that they had to spend it in the guest room watching TV because Tegan broke their TV last week. He said that Gargano talks about how they're getting a new TV, and it'll be there tomorrow. And he said, I'll have to watch this North American Championship match in standard definition, which was great.
Oh,
Funny.
So do you think, because Tommaso Ciampa beats up Jake Atlas, and then Kyle O'Reilly comes to his rescue?
Yeah, that was interesting.
Do you think Kyle O'Reilly is going to turn face?
It's weird. He's getting a push, and I don't know. It's weird. Because he was not out there for the tag team match between Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish this week. He wasn't out there last week for their tag team match. For their match.
Yeah.
He wasn't even out there for, Adam Cole. So
no, and Adam Cole hasn't been out there for anybody else either.
So it's weird. I don't know what they're doing with Undisputed Era. It might be at the end, and I can't believe they would break up O'Reilly and Fish, but maybe they see big things in O'Reilly. I don't know. Yeah, O'Reilly was – we'll skip ahead a little bit, but yeah, so also beat him up, and O'Reilly – but it was weird because O'Reilly was, there, and then he was, checking on him, but then he just said, walk it off, kid, and walked away. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was a real face. It was weird because he was just happened to be there, and he told Tommaso save it for the ring or whatever. And he goes, "You okay, kid? Shake it off." And just walked away. So I don't know. O'Reilly's. We'll see what they're doing with O'Reilly. The NXT Tag Team Championship rematch between Breezango and Imperium. Really good match again. These two had a great match the week before or 2 weeks before, and now they're at it again. Really good. In the end, though, it is, again, Breeze rolled up Eichner, and they found out Breezango are still NXT Tag Team Champions, which I'm assuming Imperium's just going to go back to the UK now. So
that's what I was about to say. I think that's what will happen since it's back. Then we had Killian Dane, supposedly, and Drake Maverick versus Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish. Killian Dane didn't show up for a good portion of this match. He stayed in the back and watched it on TV, laughing at it. Drake Maverick.
He was forced to by William Regal, told him you have to go out there. So that's when he walked out.
Yeah. and he threw Drake Maverick back in the ring, started to walk away, but then for some reason Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong decided to make fun of him,
They
which
called him
caused
fat.
him to which caused him to come back to the ring and beat the living crap out of him.
And then Fish hit him with a chair.
Yeah. And then but then they acted like Drake Maverick and him might actually be a team, and then he punched him again. So
yeah. You did miss a tag team match, which I understand why you missed it. Jesse Kamea and Exile Lee versus Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter. Because Catanzaro and Carter got the win. Just to throw that in there.
Yep. Oh no, yeah, it was a good match. It was a decent match.
It was good. Just
The
didn't go
ending
long.
was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But Xia Li acted like she was gonna turn heel. She did not shake their hands and was pretty angry walking off. So, and she had a new look to her too. So that's pretty cool.
So after that, they had a commercial after the Jake Atlas got destroyed thing. NXT General Manager William Regal was on the show, and he said that they needed to determine a new number one contender for the NXT Championship, and they're going to do a gauntlet eliminator match. The rules of the match: 2 men start. Every 4 minutes, another competitor enters. You can only be eliminated by pinfall or submission. Last man standing will be the number one contender for the NXT Championship. And if you would like me to, they have announced the 5 competitors.
All right.
Real quick. So the 5 competitors are Kushida, Cameron Grimes, Kyle O'Reilly, Timothy Thatcher, and then the big Aussie dude. I forgot his name. But yeah, the thick boy.
That's a good. That's a good 5.
So one of those 5 will be the number one contender. I don't know who it's going to be, and that's what I mentioned. O'Reilly seems to be in for a push because for some random reason O'Reilly has entered into this match.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know why, but then the main event was the North American Championship match: Timothy Thatcher versus Damian Priest. Almost forgot his name. This was a pretty good match. Priest and Thatcher are both really good, but clashing styles, which made it a pretty interesting match. In the end, Priest hit the Reckoning for the win, and so Damian Priest. It was okay. It wasn't a great main event by any stretch of the imagination, but it was good enough. So
yeah, I liked it.
It was good. So really, really good NXT show, in my opinion. I really liked it.
All right, now we'll head into some AEW Dynamite.
AEW. This show. Let's see. If you want to start it off, you can.
No, you got it. Some of the big stuff that happened in this show, Jon Moxley got jumped after a promo with Jake Roberts and Taz. They were in the ring with their respective guys, their big men, and basically they said they have a working agreement, and that once Lance Archer beats Moxley for the title, they're going to have Lance Archer versus the Machine Brian Cage, and they're going to quote Jake Roberts, they're going to go Godzilla King Kong on this place.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Jon Moxley got jumped by Sparks. Starks.
Yeah.
Not Sparks.
That was Starks. So the matches were FTR defeated the Jurassic Express.
It was a decent match.
Yeah, it was decent. It wasn't great. It was decent. Hangman Page and Frankie Kazarian.
Yep, that was a great match. I liked it.
I wasn't sure who was, because I don't know, are the SCU good guys or bad guys?
They don't really. They haven't really. I think they're good guys.
I know technically they say that, AEW says they're not really heels and faces in their company, but
yeah.
they are.
In that match, though, the interesting part was you had Kenny Omega on commentary, and he was basically calling out Adam Page the whole time, saying that like Adam Page was towards the end of the match, he goes, "This is the point of the match where he'd usually tag me in, and then I'd win the match for us," and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So Kenny Omega, I think, is going to turn heel, and I think they're going to either him or Hangman, one of the two, might be the next challenger for Moxley.
God damn it, better be Omega. Let's be honest. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I know, yeah.
But yeah, so Hangman ended up getting the win with the buckshot lariat. This was a very good match. I don't say that a lot about AEW, but it was very good. MJF versus Shawn Dean, which was MJF won in like a second.
Yeah.
And then he basically
Shawn Dean's still jobber status.
He cut a promo saying that, you know, he should still be the undefeated and he should be the AEW champion. He said he wanted to be known as the undefeated, undisputed, uncrowned champion of AEW.
Right.
He also hinted that maybe he needs to join a faction, which was weird.
Yeah. He said that he's a lone wolf and he likes being a lone wolf, but he said the only way you get anywhere in this company is to join a faction. He goes, and he said that it seems there's a new faction every week on this show.
Very funny and very true. Speaking of factions, Eddie Kingston's faction came out.
Yep.
This faction makes no sense to me. I don't know what their association with each other is, other than they're all heels.
I don't know, but they beat some guys up, and then Eddie Kingston told Blade he needs to get his house in order, and hinting at because Allie is his wife, and so he's saying that they need to get on the same page because she's been hanging around with
QT.
What's it? QT Marshall.
Still, I hate that. I hate saying that name. It just QT Marshall just sucks. I hate that name.
Yeah.
Private Party took on the Inner Circles, Jericho and Hager.
Yeah.
Before
the match, Matt Hardy got taken out, and Jericho was walking around behind him with a baseball bat, maybe hinting that he's the one that took him out. So.
It's going to lead to a Jericho and Hardy feud because this is, 2020. And
they've already done that once, though.
Yeah. Because, it's 2020, so let's have those two dudes from the Attitude Era feud. Jericho and Hager won, as expected.
They say they're going after the tag belts, even though, like you said, heels have the tag titles right now, but
yeah.
That's what they said. They're going after the tag titles.
They had a match, Eva East versus Thunder Rosa for the NWA Women's Championship. Apparently, this match turned real.
Yeah.
Eva East, once again, a troublemaker. Apparently,
she lost her temper.
Something happened, and she was upset and lost her temper. Apparently, this was taped, so they were able to redo it or edit it out or something.
Yeah. But basically, like, I don't know what happened between the two, but Thunder Rosa didn't want NWA to look bad, so she was like, "Well, if you're gonna fight me, I'm gonna fight you back." So
yeah.
So I don't think whoever started that or what happened, Eva East is not officially signed with AEW, which is not Eva East. That's not good for Eva East because she's not really signed yet. Not really sure why you'd want to do this when you're on a big stage like that. But
after the match, Diamante attacked Thunder Rosa, and then Hikaru Shida jumped over, and then here Shida and Rosa had kind of a show of respect with each other. So
yeah, and apparently they're gonna still do their tag team match next week, even though they have that little brawl. So see how that goes.
And then Miro was backstage with Kip Sabian preparing for his bachelor party.
Yeah, and he looks like Scott Steiner.
Way to use Miro in a very great way.
He said he was ready to destroy some guys, but then he told him no, we got other stuff to do. But yeah, he's got the blonde hair, and I don't know what he's been doing. If that's all he's done is lift weights since he left WWE. But his arm was massive.
And
I
then
was like, what the hell?
they had the Jake Roberts and Taz joining forces, and then Willie Hobbs.
Yes, he's not Jobber no more.
No Jobber no more. He's teaming up next week. It'll be 6-man action. Willie Hobbs, John Moxley, and Darby Allin versus Cage, Starks, and Archer.
Yep.
I don't know where they're heading with that. I don't know but I guess it's leading. I mean, Archer and Moxley have to wrestle at some point. So, and then
it's in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and then it was the parking lot fight between Santana and Ortiz versus the Best Friends.
Yep, it was madness.
It was madness. I still can't believe they're fighting over a minivan, but
but it was a good match. It was brutal.
Yeah.
Trent got powerbombed on a car and then through a windshield. There were POW drivers on cars.
Yeah, it ended with the strong zero through a plywood set up in the back of a pickup truck, which was just...
Which I never thought I'd hear anybody say that.
And yeah, just a little bit insanity.
Yeah.
That match was
But
crazy.
it was good. Kind of felt like Attitude Era days, you know. Felt like those old street fights they used to have.
Those old hardcore, matches.
Yeah, it was a good show. I like Dynamite. I think they drew over 1 million again for the second week, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So let's see if they can keep that going. Then we had NXT UK came back finally. And they're having a tournament and it's British rules, but they didn't have any tournament matches on this show, which I was expecting.
I don't know if they're doing their own separate thing or not. I don't know. I'm not sure what they're gonna like. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like if it's gonna be its own show or if they didn't really explain what they're.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
So.
Do you wanna give a rundown of who's in this tournament real quick?
You always make me look this stuff up after I'm not ready. Okay.
All right. Well, I'll go through the show while you're looking that up. All right. So we had a women's match that started out the show, which was really cool. And also a women's segment. The women's champion was in the ring, and Piper Niven was in the ring with her, and basically calling her out. And then she called her bluff. She acted like she was going to hit her. Piper didn't even budge. And so they're probably going to fight for the belt at some time. And then we had the White Witch, Isla Dawn, taking on some Viking chick that she's only wrestled a couple times. I don't really like her that much, but they had a pretty hard hitting match for a women's match.
Yeah.
And Isla Dawn lost, which made me really upset.
They're pushing this weird woman.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Then you also had a match between Noam Dar and
Ilja.
Yeah, the Russian. He's getting a shot at the UK title, and
he won a battle
royal
had that 7 months ago.
Yeah, 7 months ago. And it was a good match. I don't know. He oversells. He overdoes it a little bit, especially when you can really tell when there's no crowd. You know, it's like, this guy's kind of crazy. But, yeah, he picked up the win. Really hard fought match. I like Noam Dar's new look. He had long hair. Kind of looked a little different. I've always liked Noam Dar.
Me too.
We had I believe there was a tag. Oh, the tag team champions.
Yeah, Gallus defeated Jordan and Williams.
And it was a really good match, a really long match. And but I thought Wolf got released. That's what I thought happened, but apparently not because he's still there. I think that was all the matches. If you got that tournament ready?
Yeah, so I've got the 8 participants. So I don't know if we mentioned. I think we mentioned the rules. 6 3-minute rounds, 2 out of 3 falls. Falls can be won by pinfall, submission, or knockout. If there is a knockout, that means the match is over. In a
Yep.
disqualification as well, disqualification knockout match is over. If all 6 rounds are completed, whoever is ahead on falls wins. They did not explain if they're tied 1-1. What would happen? Anyway, so the participants are Flash Morgan Webster, Noam Dar, Alexander Wolf, A Kid, Dave Mastiff, Trent Seven, Joseph Connors, and then the 8th competitor is a yet to be determined wild card. During the show, they had all 7 of them basically talk about why they're going to win and all that fun
Yeah.
stuff.
I really like this. I like the idea of this tournament. I like it. Like there's different rules, and I like that it's going to be defended as a championship, and it'll probably always be defended under these rules, which is really cool.
I mean, TNA tried it
This
back
show
in
is
the day, but we'll see if this works.
yeah, but they're not. Yeah, but this is going to be whenever fans come back. This is going to be in front of fans that know what this is.
Yeah.
Also, this show was really good. I missed NXT UK. It was always one of my favorite shows, so I'm happy it's back.
Next week they're doing the draw, and Pete Dunne will be the special person to make the drawings. Hopefully, we find out who the wild card participant is, but probably not. We'll probably wait till the date of when he wrestles.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's probably gonna be Pete Dunne.
It's probably gonna be Pete Dunne, yes. But we'll see.
All right, let's head into some smack-a-down.
We're gonna smack shit down. This show was not as good as previous.
It was okay.
It was not as good as previous episodes. I felt like they took a little bit of a slide this week.
Yeah.
But it started off with Miz and Morrison talking about how they sent Mandy to Raw.
Yeah.
Which led Otis, and then Miz got pantsed.
Yep.
That's the segment. I did not care for this. This was not funny. This was not entertaining. Just wasn't much of what I'm into when it comes to wrestling. But,
yeah.
Cesaro took on Gran Metalik.
Apparently,
it was really good, but apparently rumors are that Vince hated it. Apparently Vince hated it. I don't know. They said that Vince wanted to end the show on a commercial break. Wanted to end the match during a commercial. Is how much he hated this match.
Wow.
I mean, apparently ended it quicker than it was supposed to. Cesaro got the win with the neutralizer. I liked this match. I thought they worked well together. I don't know why Vince hated it, but whatever.
A sign that he needs to
go. A moment of bliss was happening, and she was, normal Alexa.
Yeah.
And then her guest was Nikki Cross. They basically talked about Nikki becoming #1 contender and how Bliss says she haven't defeated her yet, blah, blah, blah. Lacey Evans comes out, which leads to a match between Lacey and Nikki. Nikki Cross gets the win after the match. Evans mentions the Fiend, which I guess is her keyword.
Triggers. Yeah, triggers.
Alexa got the dead look in her eyes, walks up and hits her with Sister Abigail. So if you mention the Fiend around her, apparently that is her trigger.
Yep.
They had a interview with Sasha Banks at the Performance Center. Sasha basically very emotional, talking about how they did everything together. How they had their dreams and their goals, and they did it all together. And that she said, "One day I'm taking the SmackDown Championship from you," which leads to Bayley attacking her.
Yeah.
So, not the best Sasha Banks promo that she's ever done.
No, it wasn't.
The highlight of the show, Sami Zayn was in action for the first time since March. Sami Zayn and AJ Styles, pretty good match.
Yep, it was
good. I liked it. 2 heels, but it worked. The ending.
And Jeff Hardy came out.
AJ Styles got the win, and then Hardy came out and hit him with ladders and said, "We're doing a triangle ladder match at Clash of Champions."
Yeah.
Otis got served with. Otis got served.
Yeah.
With a lawsuit saying that if he doesn't give up the Money in the Bank briefcase, Miz and Morrison are going to take him to court. I don't know on what grounds. I don't know how they can take someone to court over this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big E came back.
Yeah, he beat up a guy that apparently set him up with Sheamus last week.
He
So.
belly to bellied him through the windshield of a car, which was cool.
Yeah.
And then the female was back, almost showing her face, but putting a camera in front of it, so you couldn't see who it was. I mean, it was clearly Carmella, but you couldn't tell who it was.
Yeah, and then the main event of this show,
The
or unless there
Samoan
was something else.
Street fight. No, that was it. Yeah, the Samoan
Yeah.
Street fight.
Yeah, and it was it was okay.
It was a tag team street fight. Samoan Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus King Corbin and Sheamus. It wasn't great. See, Roman and Jey win, obviously. Roman.
Yeah.
So there were reports saying that Roman was going to be the new Brock Lesnar, but then this match didn't really support those claims as he was kind of taken out of the match for a while.
Yeah.
So at the end,
but
they
Jey
hugged.
Uso Jey Uso got the win with the splash after Roman Reigns hit a spear, and then Roman Reigns acted like he was a little angry that he got the win, that Jey Uso picked up the win instead of him. But then they kind of laughed it off, and that was the end of the show.
Well, they laughed it off. They hugged, and then like Jey was walking up the ramp, and then Roman Reigns looked very angry. With Paul Heyman. So I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see where that leads.
Still weird that Jey Uso's getting a world title shot, but whatever.
Yeah, but
all right. So now we got 205 Live. 205 Live had, was it 2 matches or 3? I feel like it was only 2.
Well, Arya Daivari basically wrestled twice, but
3 times. He wrestled 3 times. He wrestled against 3 jobbers, and he beat all 3 jobbers.
But it was basically a 2-match night, yeah. So Arya Daivari beat 3 jobbers up, and then the main event was Danny Burch versus Tony Nese.
And it was a good match. Arya Daivari was out there during the match. Kind of gotten.
This was just the Arya Daivari show, like.
It was. He got in the face. What?
We forgot about something because Nigel McGuinness was on commentary for this too. When did they bring him back? Because he was on commentary for NXT UK.
They brought him back for NXT UK, but I don't know why he was doing this. I don't know. It was kind of weird.
He got furloughed. Then there was no news that he was back, and then he was just on NXT UK, and I was like, oh.
No, I saw.
Okay.
I saw he got. I saw that they re-signed him for NXT UK. But I don't know why he was on this though. That was kind of random. Yeah. But Arya Daivari though got in the face of Danny Burch and cost him the win. Tony Nese got the win. But yeah, I'm not really sure why Nigel again. I don't even know when he would be able to do this. I don't know if was he there or was it over the phone. I don't know.
Beth has been doing.
Yeah, so I guess that's what they did because
NXT things remotely. But it's like, then why did you get rid of him? I don't understand why they stopped using him on NXT in the first place, unless they didn't want to do people doing remote.
It was money reasons, Ryan. Money reasons. That's what they said.
Whatever. I don't believe that shit.
Even though they're making more money than they've ever made ever. All right, let's get into some New Japan stuff now, boys. We got New Japan Strong, which was the opening match I did not like because it was an 8-man tag and it was madness.
It was the Road to Lions Break Crown.
Yeah. Which I'm guessing is a tournament or a series of matches. I'm not sure.
I think it's a tournament of some kind.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So we got that. That 8-man tag was kind of inconsequential. I mean, it was another 8-man tag.
It was Danny Limelight, Clark Connors, Logan Regal, and Adrian Quest defeated the DKC, Blake Christian, Jordan Clearwater, and Barrett Brown.
Yeah, and these matches on the actual New Japan shows, I skip all the 8-man tags. I only watch singles matches, tag matches, And if there's a 6-man tag team title match, I'll watch it. But yeah, I skip all the multi-man matches.
PJ Black
he also
and
had
Rocky Romero defeated Fred Rozier, a.k.a. Darren Young, and Mysterioso, a.k.a. Sin Cara.
Yeah. And, Darren Young wrestles like a giant.
Well, he's
in New Japan.
Hey, Black and Rocky Romero. I mean, good God, like he's.
Yeah. That's pretty weird, though, because you had 3 guys that used to be in WWE all at the same time,
Yeah.
in this match.
Yeah, well, I mean, PJ Black and Darren Young were like tag team partners.
Darren Young were in they were next. What else? What were the next match on the show?
Was Gorillas of Destiny defeated ACH and Alex Zane. I love how ACH.
Yeah, that was a good match.
ACH just quit wrestling, went on his little tirade about how everything's racist, and now he's just back. As if nothing.
Yeah, happened. But he also went to the show where he's like one of the only black people. So there you go. That one guy, all his moves were named after Taco Bell tacos, which is crazy. he went for a move off the top rope, and they go, "Oh, here comes the taco or the something crunch, supreme crunch, something like that." I was like, "What the fuck is that?" So that was interesting. And then we got regular New Japan news because the G1 has started. 9 matches.
G1 30.
So far. Yep. They had 9 matches this weekend, opening weekend. We had, we're not going to go in depth on these matches, but they had Naito versus Tanahashi, which was a really good match, but it was kind of slow. It's a slow match, but it was a good match. But Naito got the win over Tanahashi. So Tanahashi got beat. We had a bunch of upsets. Yano got the win over Sonata, which is ridiculous. And he won they were wrestling. He's a comedy wrestler.
He's going to win the whole thing. I'm telling you. Yano's going to win. Yano's going to whatever their main show is. I forgot what it's called. But
Wrestle Kingdom.
Wrestle Kingdom. Yano's going to fight for the title at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, they were fighting on the ramp, and he tied Sonata up with a young boy, and he got back in the ring, and Sonata and the young boy tried to do a 3-legged race to beat the clock, and they did not beat it, and they lost by countout. So Yano got 2 points. Naito got 2 points. Another upset was Taichi beating who did he beat? Who's in this bracket? I'll figure it out once you say his name. He beat why can't I think of it?
I can't find anything.
Oh, he beat Jeff Cobb, which was a major upset. I did not see that coming. He beat Jeff Cobb. And then we had another upset with Zack Sabre Jr. beating Evil, which I didn't see that happening either. Former world champion Evil. Didn't hold the belt for very long, but he did hold them. Yeah, that was a major upset. We had Minoru Suzuki defeating Ishii in one of the hardest hitting matches of this tournament so far. So he got 2 points. We had the returning Will Ospreay picking up 2 points. We had Goto getting beat by
Kenta.
who did he get beat by? Kenta, yeah. Kenta got 2 points. Kenta kind of dominated that match. And then we had Okada getting beat by Kota Ibushi, which, I mean, Kota Ibushi is really good, but I didn't expect him to beat Okada in the first round, or the first match. And then we had the returning CJ, or I always call him CJ Parker. His name is Juice Robinson in New Japan. And he picked up the win over Yoshihashi. And he had a little bit of a new look to him. He was wearing a wife beater. It almost looked like he forgot his wrestling gear, honestly. But he picked up the win. I think that was all I think that was all 9 matches. I don't think I forgot anybody.
I don't know. So, Jay White. Jay White beat Takagi.
Oh, Jay White. Yeah.
So,
yeah. That made me mad.
In Block A, with 2 points, it's Kota Ibushi, Jay White, Suzuki, Taichi, and Ospreay. And in Block B, Naito, Yano, Robinson, Sabre Jr., and Kenta are all who won the first 2 shows.
Right.
They returned for night 3 this weekend, right? Are they just doing weekend shows, or is this fucking like all?
No. I think it returns this Tuesday.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's usually 4 days a week.
New Japan's so hard to follow.
And it lasts. Basically, if you've never seen a G1, they have the 2 blocks and they have to wrestle everybody in the block once, so that's 8 matches. Everybody has to wrestle 8 matches.
So
and then whoever has the most points at the end of the 8 matches in both blocks, whoever has the most points at the end of the 8 matches in both blocks face each other in the finals, and then that person faces the champion at Wrestle Kingdom.
So it's essentially they do 16 shows of the basically opening round, and then they do an A block tournament, and then the B block final, and then night 19. This last 19 shows, and then night 19 will be the finals.
Yeah.
For the number 1 contender thing.
Yeah, it'll last all the way through October.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to follow if you don't know what you're doing. It's hard to follow if you're not if you've never seen it before. It's really hard to understand what's happening, but
right. But it's good. It's some of the best matches you'll see all year, so good wrestling. And I think that's going to do it for this show. That was a long episode.
It was long. We apologize if this is longer than normal. There's just way more wrestling. We're gonna start taking notes and just kind of hit the high spots of every show in our notes and stuff from here on out.
Yeah. And then also before we get off of here, probably Thursday or Friday, we're gonna have another prediction show because we got
Clash
another
of
pay-per-view.
Clash of Champions is Sunday, so we'll be doing a prediction show for that. We also, as always, have the Wednesday/Thursday. Will be Thursday when it gets uploaded. We'll have the Thursday video game podcast, and then we have the weekend sports podcast as well. So we'll have 4 podcasts this week for you guys. So as always, we'll have the prediction podcast sometime later in the week, probably Thursday or Friday, possibly Saturday, depending. Just depends on when we do it. But
yep.
We apologize if this one was long. There's a lot of wrestling, so
yep.
But so as always, follow me on social media: Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at SubriEnt. I post daily. I try to, I live tweet during wrestling, so interact with me. And as always, for Nathan, this has been Ryan. Save if you can. Wait, rewind that. As always, score if you can, save if you must, but always suplex when necessary.
Later.